everybody. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Today we're gonna go to a place that's closing down in downtown Honolulu, only because they're having some issues with leasing, and I figure I'd do this as a last video. I'm sure other people might do videos of it, perhaps, of their old location. They did say if they don't find a new location, they're done, and that place is Junbo. It's a small hole-in-the-wall Chinese takeout restaurant, similar to Panda Express. Some people might say that's not so special, but I figure I do it for posterity. I'm sure that other people that miss other restaurants that have closed down might miss the way it looks, or maybe it would be a good memory, I figure. So let's go check it out. It's here in the financial district of Honolulu. Right here is the Honolulu police station, the old one. And all these old buildings that I really like the architecture of. I figure for the members that pay for extra footage, we discussed that we would do like a walk around of all these very old buildings that remind you of the way downtown used to look. So if you're interested in joining the membership, there's extra stuff. Most of it is kind of like personal vlogs, so if you're not into that, it's all cool. But you can press that join button if you're interested. Just personal things I do throughout the week. Sometimes eating and trying foods, but not too much eating, because I already eat once a week out, so that's enough for me. So we're on Merchant Street right now, and it's a little hole in the wall on the corner. Hopefully I don't miss it. It's like in some alleyway. I will say I came here last week after work, and it was already too late. They close at 2 p.m. and I came at 1, and they were already sold out. So if you want to go here and try it, you definitely have to come at opening. They open at 10:30, and come early before they sell out. So they close before they even reach their closing hours, because I guess people heard about it. So I think this is it. This is the little walkway, and there it is, Junbo. If you're wondering, that's Fort Street Mall. Not the Fort Street Mall most people know of, but how it goes into Merchant Street on that side. It's quite a long pedestrian walkway, if you didn't know. So the closest parking, we will discuss that later, but here it is. I hope I'm early enough. It's 10:41. And another thing is, if you come from the other side, I think that's Queen Street, you'll see the shoe repair. Let's go inside. Oh, I'm the only one. So there's places to sit in here and eat as well. Hello. Okay, today I'm going to eat in my car because it is really hot outside and I don't want to deal with flies in the park. And I also want to really enjoy this food and get some good lighting of the dishes so you can see it. So just to get this out of the way, they were so nice, and they actually recognized me, which is really embarrassing. Gordon and Tammy are the owners, and they're such wonderful, nice people, and they really were proud of their food and wanted me to try every dish. I didn't get, I think, 2 things because it's just too much food, and I think that was the fish. It was like a steamed ginger fish, and I think they had a gauji. It's just too much food for me. So they gave me every starch, just little snippets of things, and every main dish, mostly every main dish, just like a scoop or 1 piece, just to taste everything, and that was very nice. They insisted that I didn't pay, but I'm sneaky. I kept saying no because that's not the point of my show. It's to support business and give the money I make on YouTube back to the next business I go to. And I snuck in a 20 in their tip jar, so But anyway, they are super nice, very kind-hearted people that really was wanting me to try the food and be proud of it. And they also wanted me to tell you all who have been supporting Junbo, thank you very much for your patronage over all these years. They've been open for 20 years, and that they hope to find another place soon. So they were very shy. They didn't want to be on camera. I kept asking them, do you want to say it yourself? But they said no. So they offer their thanks to all their loyal customers throughout the years. So because they gave me all their dishes, and if you're curious and never been there, it's the same dishes every day, cafeteria style, or like, you know, Panda Express, you point and choose what you want. There are many dishes. They also gave me some of their popular fried chicken. Everybody raves about this fried chicken as the best. And some other dishes and all the starches. So you can half and half it as well if you get a regular plate. So you got chow mein, fried rice, egg fried rice, chow fun, and I believe, oh, it's like almost like a Singaporean noodle type dish, or like a glass noodle. And before you leave there as well, get your hot mustard and chili sauce if you're into that. Don't forget to grab those. And we're just gonna dig into the fried chicken. Since I kind of drove a little, I want it really hot and fresh, and I don't want it to get soggy. So here it goes. Oh my gosh, that is good. Look at this crispy batter and skin. And that crunch, oh my gosh. The seasoning on that batter is so good. Very flavorful. And the meat is a thigh, so it's juicy. Silly me, forgot to give you a close-up of the chicken before I bit into it because I'm so hungry. I didn't have breakfast, and I was just so excited to try it. But that's pretty much what it looks like. Really crispy, big piece of chicken. And the inside's really moist, it's not dry. Really juicy thigh. This is some good chicken, and I agree. It's one of the best fried chickens locally you can get. And it has something different to it, you know. Obviously, it's a Chinese food place. Maybe some Chinese 5-spice or something that makes it just different, but in a good way, you know. It's just so flaky and crispy and all those bubbles on there. And these are their starches. You get 4 of them. And like I said in the beginning, you can half it in your plate lunch. So you got the egg fried rice, chow mein noodles, that glass noodle with looks like some veggies and cabbage, and their chow fun. And this is so great because I get to sample each one. They're so kind. So let's try the chow fun, which are these ribbony noodles. Wow, lots of flavor. Usually, you know, you go to Okazuya's or get local chow fun and it's not seasoned too well, or it's kind of plain. This one looks plain because there's not much in it, just noodles and a bunch of cabbage, but the flavor is amazing. And it definitely has wok hei in there, a little hint of it, that smokiness of the wok, and cooked perfectly. It's so soft and just, you know, chews well in your mouth. All right, let's try these glass noodles next. Those are good too. It's got a little bit more chew, reminds me of pancit. Looks almost like pancit, but a little less flavor than the chow fun. So if you're not too much into soy or sodium, this would be the noodle dish for you. The chow fun has packed flavor in that, but I personally like it more. But this is really good too. All right, let's try the other items before we get to the other starch. This is the sweet and sour pork. Whoa, that's good. It's different from the type of sweet and sour pork you're used to locally, which is the spare ribs or something like that. This one has a batter over it, and it's almost like a candy coating of a nice caramelized glaze of, you know, a sugary sauce. But it's got a little bit of tartness, but not too tart, more sweet, if anything. But that batter is so good. It soaks up all that sauce, and the pork inside is nice and tender. And there's a bit of onions and bell pepper in there as well. I like the addition of that because it, you know, makes a contrast with the pork in terms of texture, the crunchiness. The pork is crunchy as well because of the batter, but you've got that vegetable crunch, and the vegetables also soak up that sweet and sour sauce. I also like that these are in bite-sized pieces. And remember, these are just samplings since they're generous enough to let me try every dish. If you go look on Yelp or Google reviews and see people's pictures, the plate lunches are pretty generous in portion, meat-wise, so it's little only because I'm sampling. And what goes well with something saucy other than some egg fried rice, so let's try this. I can already tell, you can see the individual grains, so it's been cooked properly. Pretty good. I like it. It's simple because it's only egg fried rice, but Compared to plain rice, it's got a little bit of seasoning on it, and it's a little different than having plain white rice. It's really good. Okay, let's go into more of the mains. She said this is like their steak, and it comes with onions and such. I don't know what the name of it is because there's no signs, but it is so juicy and tender. It's not what you would think. It just kind of melts in your mouth because it's probably been simmering so long, even though it's steak, but it works. And it comes with a bunch of onions, and I'm not sure if the beans came with it because it kind of fell in there, but I think they did fall in there. It's got like bell peppers and onions. Yeah, and it's got a very pleasant salt and pepper taste. It might have like, I might be wrong, but it tastes like black bean flavor as well, that fermented black bean flavor. So it's so good. The sauce is on the bottom. It would probably go really well over that egg fried rice. Man, that steak's really good. Let's try this steak with the hot sauce they got. Man, that's bomb with the hot sauce. If you like hot sauce, it's pretty much if you go to a lot of Chinese restaurants, the hot sauce that's in the jar. But I love that hot sauce. It's so good. Here's almost like a beef broccoli type thing. But I think instead of beef, you got pieces of chicken. So let's try the broccoli first. Very different in a way that there's a hint of sesame oil taste in there, but very little. Just enough to make it taste different and stand out. But everything you would think from a broccoli dish from a Chinese restaurant. Really flavorful, still has that crunch. It's not cooked to death where it's mushy. I like vegetables cooked that way where they're still, they're cooked, but they have a little bit of crunch to it. Here's the chicken. That's really moist chicken. That goes really well and complements the broccoli. Very good dish. This dish is the eggplant, and it's like fried tofu. I think that was another dish I didn't also get. They had mapo tofu as well, but I wasn't feeling that today, so I figured this has tofu in it anyway, and I love eggplant. You can see the little bits of garlic on top as well. That's good. It soaked up the sauce. That's what I like about eggplant. Some people don't like it, but it just is a sponge, and it just soaks up whatever sauce you put in it. And then it's got the fried tofu with the garlic pieces as well. Let's try that. That's good too. If you like tofu, they fried it where the outer skin has a little bit of chewiness to it, but when you get to the inside, it's still soft. And again, just like the eggplant, the tofu's like a sponge. It soaks up all the sauce, so it is great. The sauce is delicious. Next up is the fried green beans. If you have green beans, I'm all over it. I usually love green beans that are sauteed, especially in garlic, and I like them at Okuzuya's, like Gulick Deli has them. I always get them. Seasoned nicely. You can still taste the natural sweetness of the green bean. You can definitely taste it's fresh. They're fresh green beans, not frozen. It's got that natural vegetal, sweetness to what a green bean has in terms of flavor. So it's good that they balance out the natural flavor of the vegetable, and even though it has sauce on it, it doesn't overpower everything. And I like that there's so many dishes like this. You could get something soft, such as the tofu and eggplant, but you can also choose a choice, such as these crunchy green beans or that crunchy broccoli that doesn't leave your lunch boring. Every bite's something different. And even though, some of the sauces look the same in color, they all have their unique flavor. This one's another eggplant dish that they have. It's a stuffed eggplant, and I'm going to assume it's stuffed with some kind of meat, maybe pork. This looks like a one-biter. Wow, that was good. The eggplant just melted in your mouth. Same thing, it soaked up the sauce. That one was more like a black bean sauce or something. Reminds me of the stuffed bitter melon. So the pork is the same way, that same meat filling in the stuffed Chinese bitter melon. But instead of bitter melon, it's eggplant. And that just is amazing. It goes so well. If you don't like bitter melon, but you like the filling inside the bitter melon that's stuffed, definitely try it with eggplant. Maybe you can do it at home. That really, really was delicious. I wish I had one more. That was just one sample of that. That was really good. Highly recommend that dish. And lastly, for the meat portion of our entrees, we have the noodles to try last, but this is their crispy, almost like a salt and pepper pork chop if you were to get it from a Chinese restaurant, with the garlic and the jalapenos on top. She said the jalapenos are not spicy, but I said please pile them on because I'm a sucker for fresh jalapenos. All right, I don't know how I'm going to do this because there's no knife, but here is the sample of the pork chop. Man, that's good too. I love salt and pepper anything at a Chinese restaurant. I love salt and pepper pork chop, salt and pepper shrimp. That is not just salt and pepper though, if you're not familiar with that dish. It has a batter. It's not too crispy, but it's got the batter of the flour that they fried on, but in the batter or on the meat, there is a heavy Chinese 5-spice flavor as well, and I really like that flavor. If you're not familiar, it's like star anise, that kind of flavor, and it just takes the meat to another level. And when you pair it with the fresh jalapenos, it tastes so good with rice. And she's totally right. They are not spicy at all, so I guess they take out the seeds and the membranes, but no spice at all, but still that nice pepper flavor and the crunch. All right, last, let's try these chow mein noodles, and we should be finished with the menu. The noodles, for some reason, the chow mein and the chow fun have a lot of wok hei in it compared to the rice or the clear noodles. I like that flavor. And same thing, all these starches look so simple. They don't have like the carrots and other things. Sometimes people put bean sprouts in their stir-fried noodles. It looks plain, but it definitely has a lot of flavor. Got to put some mustard on those chow mein noodles. That elevates it so much if you put shoyu and the mustard on these delicious noodles. You know, it looks simple, like kind of like when you go to the Manapua Man. You look at the noodles and they look like really plain because there's nothing in it, but it just has a good flavor and people like to buy them. So that was pretty much most of the menu at Junbo. You have until December 13th to go get yourself a plate lunch if you want to try it, or if you have been there and you haven't had it in a while and you miss it, go get yourself your plate lunch. Unfortunately, they are closed on the weekends. They're open 10:30 to 2 p.m., I believe. Monday through Friday. You have about 2 weeks to get there and try yourself some awesome Chinese takeout food, cafeteria style. And I will say every dish I tried was amazing. Especially, I would highly recommend the chow fun, the eggplant dishes, especially the stuffed eggplant. I really liked that salt and pepper type of steak they had. And I enjoyed the chow mein as well. And the pork chop, oh my God, I'm just saying everything. But that fried chicken though, definitely get yourself some. That was one of the top, and I'm gonna say local fried chickens I've had, local style, comparable to something only locals make, such as Zippy's type chicken or KJ's or something like that. Not comparing it to Southern fried chicken, but it is so delicious, crunchy, and has its own unique flavor to it in the batter, but just so subtle that it, you know, isn't something too crazy, and the meat was moist and delicious. If you're wondering where do I park, because it is in the middle of downtown, you have 3 options. I couldn't really get good pictures of it. I'm trying to show you, but maybe I'll also do a Google map for you so you can see. But there is that parking lot right next to Murphy's Irish Pub and Grill. It's like a private parking lot where you probably would pay a lot. I didn't go over there, but it's available. You also have Harbor Court at the beginning of the Mackay side of Bethel Street. And they also recommend parking there. However, also a private parking lot, and I don't know what their rates are. Might be expensive, but they did suggest that on their IG as a place to park. For me, I don't mind walking, and it isn't such a long walk really. And especially, you know, I walked in the middle of the day last week when I tried to film it, but unfortunately they sold out. It was the middle of the day, but all those skyscrapers will block the sun out, and it's really shady, so it's not hot and not very strenuous of a walk. It's all flat. I park at the Chinatown Gateway Municipal Parking. I always like parking there, whether it's Mauna Kea, Smith Street, but this one's a different one. It's on Bethel Street between Hotel Street and King Street. It's right next to the Aloha Pacific Credit Union building on kind of like Hotel Street, I believe, and Bethel on that corner. It is kind of a tight parking lot if you have a big car like me, but I did find parking on the lower level. It is also only accepting vehicles 6'2" and below, but I do have an SUV and I fit in there, and it does look like a very low ceiling. But that one's the closest walk you could probably take. You can also park on the metered stalls next to Punch Bowl, where I showed where I parked to go to the OEC Cafe and Irafune, but that's a little bit of a longer walk, but it's possible as well. And if you're curious about that Chinatown Gateway parking, I paid $1.80 for 30 minutes. And I think I was there for 30 minutes. It's not going to take you that long because I was talking story with Gordon and Tammy, and they let me take a lot of video and B-roll of their restaurant just to remember what it looks like after they move. But when I went there the last time and didn't get food, it was like literally 90 cents. So it's very cheap parking and a good alternative to parking in downtown Honolulu. So thank you for joining me again, and I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving and stuffed your bellies with delicious Thanksgiving food. As I end this, I'll keep talking, but I'll show you some of the B-roll of Junbo so you guys can remember what it looks like before they close. And thank you for watching, and definitely go get you some good Chinese food at Junbo before they close on December 13th. If you like this and you found it informative, press the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again next time on another food adventure next Friday. Have a happy Aloha Friday and enjoy your weekend, everybody. Peace out. Aloha.